then. Good morning, good morning. Here we go. Let me close that door before I knock myself out on it. So it's a beautiful sunny morning, but it's been a bit dreary of late, hasn't it? And I have to say, I'm not a great lover of winter or summer, actually. I really like the more temperate seasons of spring and autumn. And I read a lovely article in the Times a couple of weeks ago by Katherine May. And she read a book she just read a book, which I read a year or so ago, and I must read it again. And it changed her thoughts about winter. So I'll just read you this, and I will have a little chat about it. So the book is called Wintering by Katherine May. May suggests that there's an actual process called wintering, a skill most modern people have lost. These days, we expect life to be one endless summer, a constant upwards linear progress through life. But that's not what happens in nature. In nature, all creatures winter. They spend the colder months living smaller lives, conserving energy, feasting, sleeping, healing. And sometimes our wintering is seasonal, and sometimes it's emotional. We can also have personal winters, recovering from illness, mourning loved ones, ending relationships, being unemployed. Periods where progress stalls and we have to lead smaller lives. In the book, May points out that we have all just wintered. The pandemic saw us all confined to the nest, waiting for better times. But once you have a word for this retreat, once you see it as an activity willingly to take part in, rather than simply months where you've been robbed of something, summer, something clicks in your head. I can't tell you how many times I've said to myself, I'm wintering right now, that's all, and felt instantly comforted and calm. The quiet sternness of winter is, admit it, a relief. The dark and the cold mean you can spend months just reading piles and piles of books, watching TV at 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, baking apples and going to bed early. And I love this idea that we can kind of give ourselves permission at periods in our lives when kind of maybe life throws us a googly, or perhaps it is just a period like that we've just gone through, that we're not to beat ourselves up for wanting to retreat into ourselves. So I really like that idea. And I think sometimes our yoga practice is our own weekly winter. It's that time to kind of retreat into ourselves, to press pause just for a moment and just slow down. So let's do just that. Let's have a little wintering moment this week by coming to lie down onto your back. So feel free to bring your knees up in towards your chest as you lay yourself down onto the floor, getting yourself acquainted with the floor beneath you as you maybe have a little rock, a little massage side to side, or maybe you want to take your knees round in a little circular direction one way and then round the other way. Just easing into the back. Sometimes the back can be a little bit tight in the morning, so just ease your way gently towards your practice there. And when you've released any tension that might be hanging around in the back, go ahead, bring your feet down to the floor. Now you can keep your knees bent today if that feels more comfortable for your back, walking your feet a little bit wider apart, or go ahead and stretch the legs out in front of you. So if you've got your legs outstretched, just let your heels rest in, your toes gently roll open to the side so you feel a little bit of a hip opener going on. And if your knees are bent, go ahead and just maybe pick up your hips so you can lengthen your tailbone. Maybe arch your back a little bit so you can draw your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Chin tucked in very gently so the back of the neck feels nice and long. And you might just want to rest your hands down by the sides of the body, palms up or down, whatever feels most comfortable this morning. Or if you feel you need a little bit of wintering support this morning, a hand on your belly, a hand on your chest, elbows resting gently on the floor might be just what you need. So closing the eyes if you're comfortable this morning, just take a nice deep breath in through the nose, maybe the deepest breath you've breathed all morning, and then as you breathe out, prepare to winter for the next hour. Beginning that inward journey, that concentration on our inner landscape now. And the world can seem like a very busy, and noisy place sometimes. So using this hour as an opportunity to just switch off, disengage from all of that external distraction, the news, our phones, our friends, our families, and concentrate on yourself. Never feeling selfish for doing that, never feeling that it's a waste of time. Knowing that we'll emerge, hopefully feeling a little bit more connected with ourselves, able to reconnect with others, with the world around us, from a more stable and grounded place there. So let's just take a couple more breaths, and then we'll start to move the body very gently. So if your hands are resting on your chest or your belly, go ahead and just let them fall down alongside you. We'll all turn our palms up towards the ceiling. Just begin to wiggle the fingers very gently, maybe have a little circle of your wrists a few times one way, and then the opposite direction, maybe keeping the fingers moving. And then we'll reach both arms back above your head, taking them into a V shape if that's more comfortable. And if the knees are bent, we'll all join the others with our legs stretched out in front of us in a full body stretch. Take a moment there just to have a little wiggle into your hips, maybe reaching back with the fingertips, stretching out through the toes, finding the space behind you and in front of you. Lovely. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let's bring the right knee up and in towards your chest, giving it a nice hug. You can hold in front or behind your knee there. And as you bring that right knee in, see if you can stretch out through your left heel. So we're getting a lovely stretch through the low back. That knee might want to roll towards your armpit a little bit. Just let it go there. Sometimes our hips might feel a little bit tight there. Lovely. When you're ready to breathe in, let's release the arms back, release the leg, coming back to that full body stretch. And as you breathe out, let's slide the left knee up and in towards your chest, holding in front or behind the knee. And again, feel the energy through that right heel pressing away from you. As you give that knee a little squeeze, just check in with your shoulders, check in with your face. Just make sure that you're not tensing or holding anything there. Lovely. Let's breathe in and release, coming back to that full body stretch. Breath out, let's bring that right knee back in towards the chest. And we're going to hold that right knee, either with both hands or just one hand, as you start to gently open and close that knee, like you're opening and closing a door there. Now, if it's too much with your left leg stretched out in front of you, go ahead and just bend your knee and place your foot on the floor. So little movements, opening and closing the knee. Just getting into the hip there this morning. Try and keep the toes of that left foot pointed up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Let's bring the knee in towards the chest now. Interlace the hands around the back of the leg. And we're going to take the leg up towards the ceiling into a hamstring stretch. So go ahead and really bend your knee if you need to. And we'll start to circle the foot. Now, as you move the ankle, again, if it's pulling on your back, bend the other knee and just place your foot on the floor. Let's change direction with those little ankle circles if you've not already done so. And then we'll stretch the heel up towards the sky and press that left heel away from you. So all 10 toes are nice and active there. Feeling some space in the back of that right leg. Lovely. So we're going to keep the foot flexed, but now see if you can bring your right ankle to rest just above your left knee. So we've stretched that left leg out in front of us. Have a little look if you're getting a bit lost there. So I've made almost like a number 4 shape with my legs. Palms can be flat down on the floor alongside you, or go ahead and take hold of the side of your mat for a little bit of support there. Now, if this next move is too much, just stay there enjoying a nice hip stretch. Or if you can, as you inhale, we're going to sweep that left leg up towards the ceiling, bringing the shin close towards you. And as you exhale, lower that leg until it comes to hover just off the floor. So inhale, we sweep the leg up, feeling those muscles engage. If you hold on to the side of the mat, gives you a little bit of extra support. Exhale to lower down. So twice more. Remember, if it's too much, you can just keep the leg resting on the floor with the knee open. Lovely. Let's do one more. Inhale, sweeping the leg up towards the sky. And this time as you exhale, let's lower that left heel all the way down until it rests on the floor. You're going to slide that left heel in towards your bottom, coming into a little reclined pigeon pose, bringing your right hand to the inside of your knee or your thigh. Gently press the knee away from you and start a little rocking motion from side to side, flexing the right foot, feeling a little bit of stretch in the hip there this morning. And again, you might want to stay there this morning or join me in that full reclined pigeon, picking up your head and your shoulders, feeding your hands between the legs so you can hold on around the back of your left thigh. Head and shoulders come down to the floor and just relax your left heel down towards your bottom. So again, soften the shoulders, make sure you're not allowing tension to creep back into the upper body as we focus on what's going on in the legs there. Little stretch in the hip. Lovely. And then whatever shape we've made with the legs, let's all just bring that left foot back down to the floor. Arms come out to the side now, level with your shoulders. We're going to cross right leg over your left leg, or just bring both feet to the floor. Now scoot your hips, move your bottom over to the right side of your mat. Come onto the ball of the underneath foot, and let's drop the knees over to the left. So we've crossed our right leg over our left leg, and we're just dropping the knees down to the left side for a little twist this morning. See if you can untuck your shoulder blades and broaden across your chest. Again, if it's too much with your legs crossed, just do that little twist with your feet and your knees apart. Lovely. Let's slowly roll our way back through the middle so we can uncross everything. Feet to the floor. Bring your bottom back to the middle of the mat and give both knees a nice hug in towards your chest. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, squeeze those knees in, down. Maybe pick up your tailbone. As you inhale, relax. And as you exhale, squeeze the knees in towards your chest. Maybe feel your tailbone lift a little bit. Inhale. This time as you exhale and give the knees a hug, maybe round the upper back, bringing your nose towards your knees in a little ball. Inhaling, head and shoulders come back down. Exhaling, give those knees a squeeze, maybe round on up, nose coming towards knee. Lovely. Let's slowly, slowly bring the head, bring the shoulders down. Both hands now on your left knee, so we can slide the right leg out in front of you, or just bring the foot to the floor, knee bent. And let's start those little knee movements, the open and closing of the knee on the left side. So I don't know about you, but my right foot always wants to kind of roll out to the right. So see if you can gently press down through the heel so you keep the toes of that right foot up towards the ceiling as you gently open and close that left knee. A little stretch in the hip there. And the knee coming to chest, we're going to hold on around the back of the leg and we'll take that left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee as much as you need to as we circle the foot. So you might notice one side feels a little tighter than the other. So really generously bend the knee if you need to. Round the other way with the ankle we go. Just warming up through the joints this morning. And then we'll stretch the heel up and away from you, pressing the right heel in towards the floor. So all 10 toes nice and active there. Beautiful. And then we'll go ahead and bring that left ankle to rest just above your right knee. So we're trying to let that left knee just roll open. So we're in a little figure of four shape there. Again, have a little look if you're confused. Hands down or holding onto the side of the mat, ready for those leg lifts. As you inhale, we sweep the right leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, lower the leg slowly down. If you want to bring the foot all the way down, you can, or just hover off the floor. Inhale, we sweep the leg up, strong on the core. Exhale, lower down. So if this is too much, remember you can keep the leg on the floor. Twice more if you're with me. Inhale, sweep the leg up and lengthen it all the way down. One more. Oh, inhaling up. This time as we exhale, let's bring that foot all the way down. So right heel lands on the floor and we'll slide that right foot back in towards you. Left hand on the inside of your knee or your thigh. Gently press it away from you, and again, if it feels good, a little shift of the weight, a little rock from buttock to buttock. Trying to keep your foot flexed and that knee pressed away from you. And we've got the option to stay there, or again, lifting your head and shoulders, feeding your hands between your legs, this time holding around the back of your right thigh. Heel drops down towards your bottom. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe close your eyes as you bring that shin a little closer towards you. And remember, if that's too much, you just bring that right foot back down to the floor. Lovely. One side might feel a little tighter than the other. Then let's all bring the right foot back down to the floor, arms out level with the shoulders, so we can slide or cross our left leg over right leg. Nudge your bottom over to the left, rise up onto the ball of the underneath foot, and again, this time knees to the right. So again, you can do this with the legs uncrossed. Maybe again, your head wants to turn away from your knees as you try and slide your shoulder blades out from underneath you and broaden across your chest there. Oh, that feels good this morning. Nice stretch. Lovely. Let's roll all the way back through the middle, uncrossing the legs, feet to the floor, bring your hips to the middle of your mat, and we'll bring those knees back in towards your chest. Hands on the knees, take an inhale. Exhale, knees to chest, maybe nose to knee, coming into that little ball. Inhale, head and shoulders coming down. Exhale, give those knees a squeeze, maybe pick up your head, seeing if you can bring your nose towards your knees. Don't worry if they're a long way away. Inhale. This time as you exhale and come up into that little ball, you might want to stay there. See maybe if you can flex your feet and maybe release the arms alongside you with your palms up towards the ceiling. So you're lengthening your fingertips towards the end of your mat. We'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Hands on the knees, head and shoulders come back down. Have a little roll across the back of your head. Oh, that's woken the core up this morning. We're going to come up and over to seated. So you can roll to one side or cross your ankles, hold behind your knees and have a little bit of momentum to roll up. Lovely. Now I'm going to sit cross-legged this morning with right leg in front of left leg. You can stretch the legs straight out in front of you if you want to. That's no problem at all. Or prop yourself up on a little cushion there. Let's sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to bring the fingertips to the floor in front of you. Lovely. As you inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, take a little forward fold. So you might be doing this with your legs stretched out in front of you. You might have your right leg crossed in front of your left leg. So just see if you can anchor down through your sit bones. Let your bottom lift from the floor. So if that means walking the hands back towards you, feel free. If you've got your legs stretched out in front of you, you're going to stay in that forward fold. If you've got your legs crossed, let's walk the hands over to the left side and see if you can reach your right fingertips a little further away from you, drawing back through that right hip. Lovely. And then we'll all bring that left hand just by your left hip. And as you inhale, we're going to sweep the right arm all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, take that right arm over the top of the head. Lovely. So inhale, we'll reach up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Have a little look, Hazel, and exhale over the top. We're in a little side bend here now. So right arm lifts, take an inhale. And exhaling all the way over the top. Lovely. Let's reach up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. This time as we breath out, as we breathe out, right hand comes across the body to the outside of your knee or your thigh. And let's take a little twist round to the left. So other hand can be behind you. Just seeing if you can pick up your chest a little bit higher and find a little bit more rotation through the spine there. Beautiful. Going to come back through the middle. Hands come behind you so you can uncross the legs and we'll all bring the feet flat to the floor. Now bring your palms down, fingertips turned out or slightly forwards. Press into your hands, lift your chest and see if you can lift your shins. So you're leaning into your hands, keeping your chest lifted. Just start some little toe taps. So one at a time, one toe touching down and then the other. Lovely. See if you can have your ankles level with your knees there. So keep that chest lifted so you're keeping the collarbones nice and broad. Let's do one more on each leg. Beautiful. And then we'll cross left leg in front of right leg or go ahead and stretch both legs straight out in front of you. Lovely. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fingertips come down. Taking you into that little forward fold, either over straight legs or cross legs. Rooting down through your sit bones, chin tucking in as you lengthen the arms forwards. Lovely. Again, keeping the sit bones grounded. And again, if you've got your legs stretched out in front of you, you're going to stay there. If you've got your legs crossed, let's take the arms over to the right side of your mat this time. Left fingertips reaching a little further away from you. So you're getting that nice stretch out through the side of the body. Lovely. And then all of us, let's bring our right hand by our right hip. Left arm sweeps up towards the ceiling as you breathe in. Breathing out, left arm comes over the top. So you can do this with the legs stretched out in front of you. Inhale, we reach up. And exhale over the top. So we bend that supporting elbow, getting that lovely side bend. Beautiful, everyone. One more. Inhaling up. Lovely. Exhaling over the top. Getting ready for that little twist now. So we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Breath in. And breathing out, we'll twist to the right now. So left hand comes across the body to your thigh or your knee. And we're sitting up nice and tall. So get the feeling of picking up your chest a little higher as you breathe in. As you breathe out, you might even turn your head over that back shoulder, depending on how the neck feels. Lovely. Let's come back through the middle. Hands come behind you. So again, we can bring our feet to the floor. I'll turn around. Fingertips point forwards or slightly out to the side. Press into your hands. Lift your chest. Let's see if we can lift the shins. And this time we're going to cross the ankles, one over the other, and then change. So we're doing those little ankle changes. You can always do this with the legs a little bit lower if that's more comfortable, keeping the chest lifted. If you want a little bit more this morning, you can always reach the arms out alongside you. Oh, that livens things up, doesn't it? Beautiful. Let's see if we can do for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lovely. Bring the feet down. We're going to tuck the feet around behind you so we can find our way onto all fours this morning. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Make that lovely angry cat shape. So round up through the back and then bring your hips towards your heels, finding that child pose straight away, hips coming down towards heels, coming onto the pads of your fingers or thumbs so you can lengthen out through the arms. Arms straight if you can manage that. Palms and elbows lifted. Hugging your hips back towards your heels. Never worrying if your bottom doesn't quite touch your heels there. Broadening the back and down through the side body. And then let's bring the palms down to the floor. And as you inhale, find your way back onto all fours with a little arch of the back so your chest leads the way. Exhale, round the back. Bottom coming back towards heels, back into that child pose. So moving with the breath, inhaling, coming forwards, a little arch of the back. Exhale, tuck the chin in, round the back. Lovely, one more like that. So inhale, coming forwards and up. Exhaling all the way back and down. Lovely. So this time as you inhale, let's come forwards and up and reach your right arm forwards, up towards the sky, and then take a big circle all the way back behind you as you come back into that child pose. So right arm sweeps forwards and up as you breathe in. And breathing out, bring the arm all the way back behind you as you bring your bottom to your heels. Let's do that twice more. You can always make the movement smaller and lead with your elbow if that's more comfortable on the shoulder this morning. So one more, inhale. This time as you exhale, bottom to heels and bring that right hand to rest on your lower back. And gently roll that right shoulder open. So we've got a very gentle shoulder stretch here. Right hand resting on low back. Hips drawing down towards your heels. Lovely. And then let's reach that right arm out in front of you. We're going to do that on the left side. So as you inhale, we'll come forwards and up, reaching your left arm forwards and up towards the ceiling. And breathing out bottom to heels as you scoop the arm back alongside the body. So inhaling, sweeping that left arm forwards and up. Exhale as you bring it all the way back down by the side of the body. Lovely. Twice more. Remember, you can make that movement smaller. Nice work into the shoulders, everyone. Lovely. So one more. Left arm, inhale. This time we'll bring the back of the hand to rest on your lower back. Bottom coming down towards your heels. Right arm stretched out in front of you. We're trying to gently roll that left shoulder open there. Getting a nice stretch out. Lovely. And then we'll reach both arms back out in front of you. Coming back up onto all fours, sliding hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's tuck the toes under. And just feel a little bit of engagement there as you bring your belly button up towards your spine, and you might just want to stay there, feeling the lower abdominals engage. Or adding on, take an inhale, and as you exhale, press into your hands. See if you can hover your knees just an inch or so off the floor. Bottom stays low. Inhale, lower the knees, look forwards. Exhale, hug navel to spine, and maybe lift your knees just by an inch or so. Lovely. One more. Inhale, drop the knees, lift the chest. Exhale, let's press into our hands, hover the knees, pause. And now see if we can push the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And from your down dog, let's start to pedal out through the feet. Bending one knee and then the other, maybe a little shake of the head, a little swing of the hips, keeping it nice and gentle there as you begin to find some space through the side of the body, pressing down with your hands as you lengthen the hips up and back. Beautiful. And then bringing the feet hip width apart, bend your knees, take your gaze forwards between your hands as you inhale, and as you exhale, step or help your right foot forwards. Lovely. Help it out if it doesn't get there. Now just give a little wiggle through that left foot. See if you can bring that left foot a little further back behind you, and then lower the knee. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, release the arms all the way down. Lovely. Fingertips brush the floor. Inhale, press into that front foot. Lift your chest. Exhale as you release. Lovely. So you might feel a little hip stretch now because we've got that left knee all the way back. This time let's bring both hands down to frame your front foot. Taking that right arm up towards the sky for a little twist. Hugging that right knee in towards you. Maybe taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, both hands come to the inside of your front foot. Let's walk that right foot a little further out to the right and turn your toes out a little bit on the diagonal towards the top corner of your mat. And just let your left hip drop down so you've got a nice hip stretch. If you're not feeling anything, you might need to slide that left knee back a little bit further away. You might want to stay there. Or bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee and gently allow that knee to roll open. So you're rolling to the little toe edge of the foot, trying to turn your chest up towards the ceiling. Not everyone will want to do that. Not all hips or ankles will like that. So feel free to keep your foot flat to the floor. Beautiful. Let's slowly release. Walk that foot back to the middle of the mat. Hands frame the foot. Pick up the back knee. We'll step back into downward facing dog. You can do this next bit from all fours. As you inhale, bring your chest forwards to plank, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, push your hips up and back, downward dog. So you can do this from all fours. Inhale, pulling the body forwards. And exhale, pushing the hips up and back. So one more, either from down dog or all fours. Inhaling, pulling the body forwards to plank. Exhale, push the hips up and back. This time we'll all pull the body forward, shoulders above your wrists. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, drop to the knees, and then bring your chest down to the floor between your arms. We'll take the hands off your mat, nice and wide apart. You can keep your palms flat or lift up onto your fingertips. And as you inhale, we're going to lift the chest into a nice wide cobra. And as you exhale, roll the chest forwards and down. So inhaling, waving the chest forwards and up, pressing into your fingertips or your palms. And exhale as you roll your way down. So your hands are off your mat, nice and wide. Inhale, pressing into the tops of the feet as you lift your chest one last time. Exhale to lower. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push back onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck the toes under. Take an inhale. Exhale, press into your hands, hover the knees, or just hollow out through the belly, navel to spine. Inhale, drop the knees, lift the chest. Exhale, press into your hands, firm up through your belly, pick up the knees. Drop the knees, look forwards, one more time, inhale. Exhale, press into your hands, hover the knees, pause, and then push the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take that little pedal out through your feet, again, a little swing of your hips from side to side, and we'll try all of that with the left leg leading. So bend your knees, look forwards, take an inhale. Exhale, left foot, step it through. And again, slide that right foot back before you bring the knee down to the floor. Ready for those low lunges. Sweep the arm up, inhale. Exhale as you lower down, so release the arm. Fingertips brush the floor. Press into that front foot, rise up. And then release. Lovely, we're gonna do that one more time. So really lift up nice and tall, and then both hands coming down to frame that front foot. This time, left arm will reach up towards the ceiling, turning your chest, stretching out across the arms there as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, both hands come to the inside of that front foot. So we'll walk the left foot out to the left and just turn the toes out on the diagonal towards the top corner of your mat. And then again, we just let the right hip begin to sink down towards the floor a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Option to stay there, feeling that little hip stretch, or left hand comes to the inside of your left knee. Gently press the knee away from you and turn your chest up towards the ceiling. So you just allowed the foot to roll onto the outside edge. Lovely. Let's slowly release, bringing that foot back to the middle of your mat, hands frame the foot. Pick up the back knee, we'll step back into downward dog. Again, you can skip this bit or inhale, pull the body forwards to plank, strong through the arms. Exhale, push the hips up and back. Do that twice more. Remember, you can do this from all fours, just shifting the weight forwards. And exhale, pushing the weight back. Let's come forwards to plank, shoulders above wrist, take an inhale. Exhale, knees down, chest down, all the way down to the floor. Hands come off your mat, level with the shoulders, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Palms or fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest. Look forwards. And exhale, stretching the chest forwards and down. Lovely. Do that twice more. So you can almost think about coming up, leading with the back of your head, and then stretching the chest all the way down. So keeping the chin tucked in as you rise up. Head lifts last, and then we'll come all the way back down, hands under the shoulders. Let's come on to all fours, and then take your hips back towards your heels. Take a moment in child pose. Arms stretched out in front of you, gathering your breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, finding your way back onto all fours, tucking your toes under. But this time we'll walk our hands back towards our knees and see if you can lift your knees so you're in a little squat position at the end of your mat. If you don't like being in a squat position, just come into a forward fold, which is where we're going to join you. If you're in that little squat, drop your chin to your chest. Just see if you can allow the heels to drop down behind you so you're getting a nice stretch out through the Achilles. Lovely. And then from that little squat, let's slowly push the hips up towards the ceiling, dropping the heels. So we're in a forward fold, generous knee bend. Maybe cradle your elbows as you take a little sway of the body from side to side. Oh, letting the crown of the head drop down towards the floor. Little sway of the arms. And then releasing your elbows, sliding your hands up to your shins and then up to your thighs so we can find that lovely flat back position. Now squeeze the elbows up towards the ceiling like little grasshopper legs. Firm up through the belly, tuck the chin in, or take an inhale. And as you exhale, fold your way back down over the legs. Keep the knees bent now as you roll your way up to stand. Chin stays tucked in. Rolling your way up. Head comes up last. Lovely. So we're all at the back of the mat. I'll turn around to face you. Hands coming to heart. Let's take a knee bend as you sweep the arms out and up. Take an inhale. Exhaling, hands coming to heart. Beautiful. We're going to reach the arms out left to right now. So really broaden out across the chest. Lift your chest, maybe lift your chin. We'll take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring the hands back to your heart. Let your chin drop to your chest. Arrow the arms up towards the ceiling as you breathe in. Maybe lifting your chin, maybe even pulling the thumbs back a little way so you get a tiny back bend. And as you exhale, let's bring the hands all the way back to the heart. So inhale, stretch the arms out, pick up your chin, lift your chest. Exhaling, hands to heart, chin dropping to chest, little stretch in the back of the neck. Arms lift up, take an inhale, maybe your chin lifts, maybe your thumb pulls back a little way. And as you exhale, big circle, hands coming back to heart. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, broaden the chest. Exhaling, hands coming to heart, chin coming to chest. Let's sweep the arms up. Take a breath in, maybe again, push the hips forward, thumbs drawing back. And exhale, big circle back to the heart. Lovely. We're going to add on, so we're at the back of the mat. Take the arms out left to right. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest. Exhaling, hands coming to heart, chin coming to chest. Let's reach the arms up. Take an inhale. This time as we exhale, we're going to come all the way down over the legs into a forward fold. Sliding the hands up to your shins or your thighs, lifting up halfway. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees, hands come down, and we'll walk back into a downward dog shape. Lovely. Pressing the hips all the way back as you press into your hands. Lovely. Shift the weight into your left foot. Right leg lifts all the way up. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, I'm going to step that right foot forwards, top of the mat. Ready for a warrior one. So let's take that back foot out towards the long edge of your mat, about 45 degrees. And then we'll rise on up, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. Front knee is bent, arms reaching up towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart. So we've got our right foot forwards. Let's straighten both legs. Take the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knee, and we'll bring the hands all the way back down to your heart. So inhaling, pressing into your legs, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, re-bend that knee and bring the hands to your heart. Lovely. So straightening the legs, arrow the arms up. One more time. And as you bend the knee, it's almost like you're wanting to pull the mat apart with your feet. Lovely. So adding on, inhale, we're going to take the arms up as you straighten the legs. This time as you exhale, keep the legs straight, and we'll bring both hands onto that front thigh, one on top of the other. Tuck your chin in as we come into that little flat back position. You can pop a bend in that front knee if you need to. Lovely. So get that sense of almost trying to squeeze your inner thighs together. Right hip pulling back, left hip rolling forwards. So we've got the option to stay there, or maybe you slide your hands down towards your right shin. Or maybe you can even bring your fingertips to the floor. If you've got your fingertips on your floor, let your head drop so you're looking towards your back heel. Beautiful. So again, just drawing that right hip back, whatever you're doing with your hands. And then we'll re-bend the front knee. As you inhale, let's sweep the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, turning into our warrior two. So we're going to drop the back heel in and take the arms out nice and wide. So we've got our right foot facing forwards, back toes facing the long edge of the mat. Beautiful. Let's turn the palms forwards. Lovely. And then just look towards your left thumb. So you're looking to the back of your mat. Lovely. Now that left arm, you're going to reach all the way round to the side, turning the body to face forward, seeing if you can bring your palms together. And then we draw that left arm back across the chest like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Looking back towards your thumb, take an inhale. Exhale as you sweep that left arm forwards, turning the chest. Lovely. Inhale, draw the arm back. Beautiful. Exhale, feel that lovely twist through the spine as you reach both palms towards each other. One more time. Inhale, pull that arrow back. And exhale, bring both hands maybe together or maybe just slightly apart. Left arm, draw it back, take an inhale. This time as you exhale, right arm arcs all the way up and over into our reverse warrior. Beautiful. Back into your warrior two, breath in. Right forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Beautiful. Let's inhale, reach all the way up and back. Right arm arcs all the way up behind you. And this time as you exhale, we'll bring both hands down to frame that front foot. Take a little pivot on the back heel, bring the chest forwards. Next breath in, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling for a big twist. Exhale as you bring both hands down. So stepping back into your downward facing dog, option to skip it, or join me in a plank pose as you inhale, little vinyasa. Exhale, knees lifted or lowered. Let's come down onto our tummies. Flatten your feet. You can widen your hands or keep them under your shoulders as you lift your chest into a cobra, breathing in and breathing out. Roll your way down. Tuck the toes, come onto all fours, and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Lovely. From your downward dog, have a little walk forwards to the top of your mat, easing your way back into a forward fold. Generously bend your knees, and as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up, so we're at the top edge of our mat. Exhaling, hands coming to heart. Beautiful. I'll turn around to face you. Inhale, take the arms out nice and wide. Lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhaling, hands coming to heart, chin coming to chest. Arrow the arms up, maybe pull the thumbs back. Press the hips forwards, tiny back bend. Exhaling, hands come all the way back down to the heart. Lovely, let's do that again. So as you take the arms out, really stretch the fingertips apart, lift your chest, little squeeze at the bottom, and then bring your chin down as you bring your hands back to your heart. Let the shoulders soften. And then let's arrow the arms up, grow a little taller, thumbs pull back, hips press gently forwards. Exhaling, all the way back to the heart. Ready to add on. So take the arms out left to right, breath in. Hands coming to heart, chin to chest. Last time, exhale. Let's reach both arms up, big breath in. As you breathe out this time, down into that forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Lift up halfway, fingertips sliding up the legs. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to step back into our downward dog shape. I'm going to turn around on that there. Beautiful. So dropping the weight into your right foot. Take your left leg all the way up as you inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to step that left foot forwards between your hands. Hop that right foot out to the side so your feet are hip width apart, back foot turned out about 45 degrees. Ready for your warrior one. So when you reach your arms up, so remember our warrior one, our hips and our heart are facing the short edge of the mat there. Hands coming down to the heart, bending that front knee. And then we'll do our little flow here. So straighten both legs as you arrow the arms up, breathing in. Rebending the front knee as you circle the hands back to the heart, breath out. So rising on an inhale, really arrow the arms up. Grow really tall. And then as you exhale, feel like you want to pull the mat apart as you bend that front knee. Lovely. All the way up, big breath in, lengthen, lengthen. And exhale as you soften. Beautiful. Let's take the arms up towards the sky, breath in. Keep the legs straight now as you circle both hands to rest on that front thigh, one on top of the other. So go ahead and bend that front knee if you need to, gently hinging forwards into that flat back position. Chin tucking in, just looking down beyond your big toe. You can stay there, a little bend in the knee, or slide the hands down to your shin, or even bring your fingertips to the floor, allowing your gaze to drop to your back heel. And again, get the sensation of wanting to scissor those inner thighs together, gently drawing your left hip back, right hip forwards. Lovely, little pyramid pose. So it doesn't matter where your hands are, just firming up through the belly, keeping the back nice and safe. Let's rebend the front knee. Breath in, we'll sweep the arms back up towards the ceiling. And then breathing out, opening the arms out nice and wide into our warrior two. So left foot facing forwards, right toes facing the long edge of your mat. Beautiful. Let's turn both palms forwards and then take your gaze over your right thumb. So that right arm, we're going to take all the way out to the side, turning towards the top of the mat, palms parallel, and then draw that right arm back across your chest, like you're pulling a bow and arrow. Take an inhale. Exhale, sweep that right arm all the way around, right palm to left palm, And then inhale, draw that arm back across the chest, maybe turning your head. Lovely. So a nice rotation through the spine. Beautiful. And then inhale, we peel that right arm all the way back across your chest. Let's do that one more time. So reaching forwards. And then inhale, sweeping that arm back. This time as you exhale, let's take that left arm all the way up and over. Keep the front knee bent. Back into your warrior two, breath in. Forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Beautiful. This time as we inhale, let's take that left arm last time all the way up and back. And as you exhale, let's bring both hands down to frame that front foot. Little pivot on the back heel. Left arm lifted up as you inhale into that twist. You can lower the knee if you want. Exhale, bring the hands down. Let's step back into our downward dog. Option to stay there or last little flow, rolling the body forwards to plank as you inhale. Knees lifted or lowered. Let's come down onto our tummies. Flatten the feet, roll the shoulders away from the ears, lift the chest. Little cobra, you can take your hands wide. Exhale, let's come all the way down. Let's push back up onto all fours. Widening your knees, pointing your big toes together. Ease your hips back towards your heels, coming into a little child pose there. Knees wider apart, create a little bit of space for your belly. If you don't like having your knees wide, feel free to bring them a little closer together. Ease your way down. Beautiful. Now we've got the option just to rest nice and easily there, gathering your breath. We'll just come up onto the fingertips of your right hand. And just feed your left arm under your right arm, coming into a little thread needle. Rolling that right armpit up towards the sky. And just make sure you're not resting on your ear there, your left ear. You're just above the ear on your temple. Lovely. Slowly, let's swap sides. So coming up onto fingertips of left hand, so you can feed your right arm underneath. Slide the shoulder away from the ear. Just make sure you're resting just above the ear as you try and just roll that top armpit up towards the sky. Beautiful. And then we'll reach both arms back out in front of you. Just take one more breath there. Before you lift your chest, look forwards and walk your hands back towards your knees. We'll press the knees together, drop your bottom to one side, swish the legs round in front of you. Go ahead and pop a nice generous bend in your knees or pop something underneath your bottom if you need to. So we take a breath in, reach up towards the sky, and exhale, we'll take a forward fold. So some of us, we might have our hands on our thighs, some might reach our shins, you might find your feet. If your back's tight today, you might prefer to really bend your knees and wrap your hands around the backs of your thighs. And just let your forehead drop down. So something for everybody there to ease into this forward fold. Ease being the operative word there. Just allow your body to soften. Chin tucking in. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we'll walk the hands back up the legs. Now feel free to keep the legs stretched out in front of you, or just as we did at the beginning, crossing your right leg in front of your left leg, whatever feels most comfortable. Beautiful. Let's sweep the arms up, take a breath in. Breathing out, fingertips, just bring them down to the floor in front of you. And again, we'll take that little forward fold over the legs. I like to move my hips back a little bit if I've got my legs crossed. So again, you can do all of this with the legs stretched out straight in front of you. Sit bones resting on the floor, make sure your bottom hasn't lifted. And again, if you've got your legs crossed, let's bring both hands over to the left side of your mat, just as we did at the beginning. Seeing if you can reach your right fingertips a little further away from you in that lovely stretch. And then we'll all slide that left hand back so it's just by your hip, ready to sweep the right arm up towards the sky as you breathe in. Over into that side bend. Now let's just hold that side bend there, maybe tucking your chin in. As you lengthen through that side of the body. Beautiful. Next breath in, we'll reach up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, we'll come into that twist. Hand coming across to the outside of your left knee or thigh, slotting the other hand behind you so you can sit up nice and tall. And maybe again, just turn your gaze over that back shoulder. Closing your eyes. Just make sure you're not leaning into that back hand, that you're sitting up nice and proud. That back hand is snuggled in close to your bottom there. Beautiful. Let's slowly come back through the middle. Both hands come behind you. So again, we can uncross the legs. Bring both feet flat to the floor. You're going to press into your hands. Lift your chin, lift your chest. Lovely. We've got the option to stay there or slide your bottom towards your heels and maybe even lift your hips. I'm going to walk my feet a little further away from me for more space. Chin stays tucked in, it's strong in the shoulders, so feel free to keep your bottom on the floor. We'll take one more inhale. Exhale, chin tucking in, bottom slowly coming back down to the floor. We'll stretch the legs out. Big breath in as you reach up. Into that forward fold as you breathe out. Remember that option to bend your knees, hold on around the backs of your thighs if you need to. Ease your way down. Might feel a little bit more spacious now. Maybe a little bit easier in the hamstrings. Lovely. And then walk the hands back up the legs. This time we'll cross left in front of right, or just keep the legs stretched out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall, take a breath in, reaching up. Breathing out, fingertips just spine the floor in front of you. Ready for that little forward fold. So some of us, it might not be a big movement at all. Again, I'm just going to walk my hips back and ease myself down over the legs. Chin tucking in, so never forgetting that our neck is part of our spine, so we're not letting the head drop down there. As you ease your way forwards. And then if your legs are crossed, hands creeping over to the right side of your mat. So we've got the left leg in front, hands over to the right, and it's that left arm we try and creep it forwards a little further. And then slide that right hand back just by your hip, ready to sweep the left arm all the way up as you breathe in and over the top, maybe chin tucking in this time. That's uncomfortable, then obviously take the gaze down towards the floor. Lovely. Let's breathe in to reach up and breathing out into that twist. Left hand coming across the body, your knee, your thigh, other hand slots in behind you, rolling the shoulder, lifting your chest, and maybe closing your eyes as you gently feel that movement through the spine there. Beautiful. And again, we'll come back through the middle, hands coming behind you. So once again, we can uncross the legs. And this time we'll straighten both legs out in front of you. So fingertips, again, I'm just going to slightly turn mine out because my shoulders get quite tight. So point the toes, lift the chin, lift the chest as you press into your hands. A little squeeze between the shoulder blades. An option, strong option, so feel free to stay here, is to lift your hips and point all 10 toes down towards the floor. Chin stays tucked in. They'll squeeze the bottom. Lovely. Keep breathing. And then slowly chin tucking in, bottom coming down to the floor. Walk your feet back in towards you and slowly ease your way down onto your back and bring both knees in towards your chest there. One hand on each knee. Just have a little rock across your lower back, side to side, gently massaging there. Oh, that feels nice. And then let's bring both hands to your right knee, left foot coming down to the floor. Let's keep the knee up towards the ceiling there. Let's take the leg up towards the sky, sliding the hands a little bit lower down the leg, maybe towards your bottom if your hamstrings feel tight. Flexing the foot. And if it feels nice this morning, slide the other leg out in front of you. Heel pressing down into the floor. And again, if you want a little bit more, maybe lifting head and shoulders as you slide your hands up that right leg, bringing your nose towards your knee. Let's keep the other heel on the floor today. Chin tucking in. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly lower the head, lower the shoulders. Bring that knee back in towards your chest. Slide the other heel in and bring the left knee up and in. So both knees in towards your chest. Again, have that little circle, that little rock, just release through the back. And we'll try that last hamstring stretch on the other side. So both hands to left knee, right foot coming to the floor. And again, let's take the left leg up towards the sky. So go ahead and keep the knee bent if the hamstring still feels a little tight today as you press the heel up towards the sky. So we can keep the other knee bent. Or go ahead and slide it out in front of you. Heel pressing down into the floor. An option again to bring the hands up that left leg as you lift your head and your shoulders towards your knee. Stay with the breath. Remember, all of these are options, so if it's too much, you keep your head and shoulders on the floor. Lovely. Let's slowly roll our way back down, bringing that knee back in towards your chest. And then we'll extend both legs out in front of you and float both arms back behind you. Back where we began in that beautiful full body stretch. Maybe arch your back a little bit. Maybe have that little wiggle through your hips. Oh, lovely. And then slowly bring the arms all the way back down alongside you. Lovely. Turning the palms up towards the ceiling if that's comfortable. Maybe keeping the legs stretched out in front of you. A little roll across your heels to release your hips. Or maybe rebending your knees as you walk your feet back in towards you. Taking your feet wide apart and letting your inner knees rest against each other. So find that nice, comfortable position now where we can just allow the body a moment of stillness. A moment of stillness to let everything settle, to again return to that little wintering retreat within ourselves. Just noticing how the body feels at the end of a practice. Maybe the breath feels a little bit more connected. Maybe you feel a little bit more spacious. Maybe you've noticed some pockets of tension that you were unaware of that you can just be more mindful of as you carry on with the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Every time you exhale, opportunity to just surrender the body into the mat beneath you. And every inhale is that opportunity to replenish, to revitalize. Ready to see you through the rest of the day, the rest of the week. And when you're ready, taking your time, there's no rush at all. Just very gently start to roll across the back of your head. Take it nice and slow, a little roll across the back of your head. And then just gently start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And then if your knees are bent, feel free to stretch the legs out in front of you as we all maybe float the arms back above the head. You can do this from seated, just reaching up towards the sky, just coming back into that full body stretch. Again, maybe a little stretching into one side of the body and then the other there. Before we all lower the arms, if you're lying down, just bring those heels back in towards you. Bring the knees back in towards the chest. Have a little rock, have a little roll, do whatever feels nice. And let that movement take you over onto your right side or your left side. and then up to seated. Take your time. Come and join us. Remember, you never have to sit cross-legged. Lovely. Let's bring the hands together at the heart so you can just again let the elbows drop down. Chin just coming into that little reverent bow, dropping down towards your fingertips, but still lifting up through your breastbone so we feel nice and pulled up through the spine. And I'll leave you with a little quote from the book, Wintering. I can recommend it. It's very beautiful. And in the book, Katherine May writes, Life meanders like a path through the woods. We have seasons when we flourish and seasons when the leaves fall from us, revealing our bare bones. Given time, they grow again, which is reassuring. So namaste, thank you. You've got the excuse now to watch TV, bake apples and go to bed early as if you ever needed it. You're wintering. Thank you, thank you. There we go.